Okay, so the Biema C1036 three-way passive front of house speakers. I have a pair of these that I actually managed to pick up for absolutely nothing. They were pulled out of an install where they weren't working, and basically I brought them home, checked them out, they worked absolutely fine. The only thing I had wrong with them is one of the mid-ranges had actually like a little bit of solder trapped in behind, and it was tiny, I'm talking like that big, trapped in behind one of the mid-ranges, in between, like in the pole piece on the inside behind the dust cap. So it's obviously been there ever since they've been made, and I removed that. I don't know which one it is. This one here, you can see, no, you can't see through the grill, but there's a shitty glue job where I attached the dust cap back on. But anyway, these speakers are, I would highly recommend for an install or flying them, say like a school gym or a hall or something like that. Portable use, no, because they weigh 36 kilos, whatever that is in pounds, probably close to 80 pounds. And they're pain in the ass to move around because these are the only handles that are on them. But for an install, they're awesome. Not only do these get super loud, but they're actually got a reasonable, I couldn't pronounce this word in the first attempt of doing this video. They have a satisfactory amount of low end. For a 250 watt subwoofer, which I'm calling bullshit on, I reckon it's more than 250 watts because I was pushing nearly 1,000 watts into the pair of these for quite some time with some low stuff. For a 250 watt rated woofer, which I believe is underrated, and the reviews on the woofer, the driver itself, are pretty bad, I think it's pretty solid. I think it's a pretty solid driver, so that's just my opinions on it. But the low end from that, you almost don't need a sub if you're not rocking it out at like full potential. You could leave it about 2/3 for the mids and have the bass running at full and full potential, and actually get a pretty solid amount of sound out of them that'd be very, very satisfactory to 99% of people. But that would be what you'd be using them for. You wouldn't be carrying these around the place just because they're so heavy and it's such a pain in the ass to move. Now, looking at the specs that I found here, 40.5 kilos. The website said 36. I think they're around 36. I don't think they're 40 kilos. 40 is a little too heavy. Maximum calculated decibels of 125. I reckon it's around that. I reckon these are as loud as the AVEs, which are 126, and you're not going to be able to notice that 1 dB difference anyway. 97 dB efficient off 1 watt, so they can hit 197 decibels on 1 watt of power. 45 to 19 kilohertz. Now, I can vouch for the 19 kilohertz. They don't play super high. 45 hertz, I think they're kind of underrating it. I've been able to play frequencies almost to the lower 30s through these speakers. Not at high volume by any means, but I have been able to get frequencies to the lower 30s out of these speakers. I could say you could probably push them down to about 40 at high volumes. Long-term RMS is rated at 350 watts RMS. Another spec sheet said 400 RMS, 800 watts peak. I'd say they're somewhere in that range there. I'd been able to push 500 for quite a while without any problems whatsoever. 8 ohm impedance, and there's the model numbers for the woofer, the mid and the high, or the horn I should say. But that's that. Now from these speakers, from what I've had, and sorry about the white balance is really off at the moment. I don't know what's up with that. I'm just gonna bring that down a little. But from my experiences with these speakers, I'm gonna say they've been a pretty solid speaker. I've pushed them quite hard actually in this room before I had these massive white front of house speakers that I'm sorry that they're in the way. They're there now, and I don't know why I actually made them. I was making them before I planned on getting these for free. But if I had have got those for free before I'd started making these, I wouldn't have built them and I would have just run them as my fronts. But that's that. I've now got these massive fuck off white speakers here, and that's the deal with them. So anyway, they sound reasonably good. They have a fair amount of low end for what they are. But I really quite enjoy these speakers and would probably recommend them. If you could pick them up secondhand or some cheap somewhere, go for it. These ones have been through quite a lot, obviously. Apparently they were just in an install, but judging by the condition they're in, I'd say they've actually been through a little bit more than I was told, but I can't complain at all. Pair of $600 each per speaker for free, cannot complain, right? But they're a pretty solid speaker. Sorry if I get distracted. Girlfriend just messaged me and it popped up over the video and I was just reading it. But, by the way, heater, distracted now. You're getting the distracted me. It was freezing in this room and now I've had that on for like half an hour and it's boiling in here and I'm just starting to sweat. But we have 2,000 watts of power consumption off that thing. That's absolutely insane. And God, sorry, I'm just loving the S7. The video quality. I'm going to turn that off because I'm actually sweating now and I really don't want to get... Oh, okay, I just pulled the thing off. Well, this is working for me, isn't it? Perfect. She's off. Anyway, recommend them if you can pick them up secondhand or something. I'd say they can handle abuse, so don't be worried about picking up a secondhand pair and them breaking. They're braced well inside. They're built reasonably well. I've had a look inside them. The drivers, they're a cast frame. No, not cast, they're a stamped steel frame. Sorry if I got your hopes up if you do have a pair or something. They're just a stamped frame, but they're a pretty solid driver. I do have some photos of them somewhere, but not easily accessible right now. But yeah, the horn's reasonably okay. It's not super loud, but what can you expect? It's only a 30 watt horn. These are like 150 watts. It's ridiculous. But they're ample for what you could need. But yeah, I recommend these speakers. I'm going to wrap this video up now. I was running out of video ideas, but I've just come across a couple of ideas I'm going to do. I haven't figured out, I haven't even done a video on the AVE front of house. So I'm going to do a dedicated video on the AVE front of house. Then a video, you can't put that finger up, I swear to God. There you go. Dedicated video on the AVE front of house. Then a video comparing these to the AVE front of house. And if you don't know, my whole bathroom's been renovated, so I've had to move my gaming setup from my desk out into the kitchen, and I'll do a video or a series, more or less, setting that back up at my computer. I think that'd be a cool idea. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, leave me a like. It keeps me motivated to keep uploading more and more and more videos. And be sure to check out my channel if you haven't already. And stick around for those new videos of the AVE front of house and comparing these and the gaming setup. So anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.